WI9MRC repeater.
All right, good evening. On behalf of the MRC 91 repeater, I would like to welcome you all to the Wednesday night Elmer Net. My name is Jim, Kilo Tango 9 Golf, and I am located in Waukesha, and I'll be acting as your net control operator for tonight's net. Licensed amateurs, technician class or higher, are encouraged to check in either with or without traffic. Before we start tonight's net, however, if you should have an emergency during this net, please let us know and we'll stop to handle your emergency. Traffic for this net means questions, comments, problems, or news about computers or other technical devices or ham radio equipment in general. Let me break for a second. Questions about new digital modes or thinking about trying out a new radio, we'll see if there's someone out here who can give you a hand. However, please note that we will not accept traffic offering to distribute copyrighted programs. If you have anything you're looking to buy, sell, or trade, we suggest you check out the 91 repeater Sunday night directly after the Sunday night announcement net for the Sunday night swap net, where that type of traffic is encouraged. All right, getting started. Check-ins are in alphabetical segments based on the first letter following the numeral in your call sign. Mobile stations may ignore the roll call segment and check in at any time when it is safe to do so. During check-ins, please respond with your call sign slowly and in standard phonetic, along with your first name and whether or not you have traffic. Again, my name is Jim, KT9G, your net control operator for this evening. We're going to go ahead and get started with any mobile or short time stations. A Alpha through Z Zulu for mobile or short time. Go ahead. Come now, please.
K9 TGM. Almost at work, Jim. Be in the background for a bit.
KC9WXUJ, listening but no traffic, and you have a loyal listener, Kilo Delta 9 Alpha, Alpha Foxtrot, Doug.
All right, I got you on there, Wayne, KD9TJM, Karen, KC9WQJ, and Doug, KD9AAF. Anyone else, mobile or short time or listen only? Go ahead. Okay, hearing none there. I do have two on AIM here. KA9JBD, Michael, are you there? Go ahead, give me Roger, Roger.
Roger, Roger, KA9JBD.
All right, cool. And then KD9YJJ, Dan, I got you on there. I saw that you were no traffic, but let me get you not heard or whatnot.
Roger, Roger, KD9YJJ.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. Okay, let's open up to the first segment here of A Alpha through K Kilo. A Alpha through K Kilo. Go ahead, come now, please. All right, let's do A Alpha through V Victor. A Alpha through V Victor. Come now, please.
Whiskey 9, Golf Tango Zulu.
Kilo Alpha 9, Mike Bravo, Mike.
Whiskey 9, Alpha Bravo Echo Rich, no traffic.
All right, I got W9GTZ, Jim, KA9MBM, Mike, and W9ABE, Richard, with no traffic. Anyone else? A Alpha through V, Victor? All right, let's do A Alpha through Z Zulu. Anyone within the sound of my voice for the Wednesday night Elmer Net? A Alpha through Z Zulu. Come now, please. Okay, hearing none, we'll go ahead and get started. I'll bring it up here to the top of the list for tonight. The The topic was going to be, or is going to be, digital modes. We haven't had a night where we talk dedicated about that. I do know that it was asked about. However, I don't know. I think Neil was the one that asked. I don't know if he's going to jump on later or whatnot, but I thought we could go ahead and get started. We can chat about that. Before we do that, I will say that there is a very, very nice website out there. If you haven't had a chance to take a look at it, it's called sigidwiki.com, so SIGID wiki, WIKI.com. And it lists information about hundreds of digital modes used in radio communications, everything from encrypted comms that the military uses to amateur radio modes like FT8, FT4, JS8, stuff like that. Gives a little bit of a breakdown about each one. It shows you what it looks like on a waterfall, and they also have, a lot of them have audio files that you can play to hear what they sound like. So if you're ever scrolling through the radios and you hear a digital mode you don't recognize, you can use this site to help you ID it maybe. So that, I wanted to throw that out there. If you're sitting in front of a computer, you can check that site out while we talk about this stuff. So that's what we're going to chat about, and kind of questions pertaining to it if anyone has anything specific. So we'll go ahead and do the first round and start with that, and then kind of take it from there and see where the conversation goes. So KA9JBD, Mike, we'll start with you. Go ahead. Floor is yours.
Yeah, good evening, Jim and Annette. KA9JBD here. In regard to digital modes, I did some PSK31 years ago. I think I was running an ICOM 718 at the time with a signal link adapter. Did a little here and there, but I guess my only question would be, is PSK31 still really active, or has everything gone to the FT4, FT8 thing? In addition to that, I'm on a different radio tonight. I gave myself a Christmas present, an FTM 6000 Yaesu dual band that I just received today. And let me know how I sound, and this will wind up going into my daily drive vehicle. KT9G, back to net, KA9JBD.
KA9JBD, KT9G, net control. So, congratulations on the new radio. You sound good. Actually sound really good. So, everything seems to be working fine there for you. As far as PSK31, I will let others speak to how much it's used. I do know that the only thing that I have been aware of with it is people use it for meteor scatter on 6 meters and some other bands. So I know that that's a thing, and that still happens. I have seen a little bit of it, just kind of looking at it every once in a while, but yeah, it seems that most people are doing FT4, FT8. So there is that. But I'll let others comment on that too. So down the list to the next with traffic, we've got W9GTZ. Jim, go ahead. Floor is yours.
I don't even know enough about digital to ask questions. By the way, this is the other Jim in Waukesha. Jim, I don't know enough about this to ask questions, so I'm going to sit back and listen. Whiskey 9 Golf Tango Zulu.
Oh, yeah, no worries. Whiskey 9 Golf Tango Zulu, Kilo Tango 9 Golf. Well, I guess my question back to you then would be, is there anything stopping you from giving it a try? I don't know what radio, what's your primary base station radio? What rig do you run there? Go ahead.
I'm using an FT991A. It's set primarily for C4 FM.
Okay, yeah, I think that can definitely do it. So if you're ever interested in getting into it, let me know. I've done a lot of them. Most of them I've done just once, just to kind of play with it. But a lot of FT8, FT4, JS8, a little bit of RTTY, and yeah. So okay then, K9MBM, Mike, go ahead. Floor is yours.
Okay, I want to say good evening to everybody on the net. Jim, I think you're thinking of MSK 144 on 6 meters. That's what they use for media scatter. It's one of the modes that's on WSJTX. That's the primary mode for media scatter. They use it on 2 meters as well, but primary on 6. PSK 31 is still used. You can do reg chewing with it, and you'll find it on, I think, 20 meters, 40, maybe a little bit of 80, but you find it out there every once in a while. I've searched, I think a couple months ago, and I found some activity going on. I think FT8 is the big one that's primary that everybody uses. Digital modes these days. FT4 is used. Slow scan television, SSTV, that is used, and that's primarily active on 20 meters. And then there's some few other ones that are really that went by the wayside that aren't really being used anymore. They were basically along the lines of something like PSK 31, those type of modes, but they're not really used that much. It's a rarity. So radio teletype is still used. There's actually contests that the AWL has for radio. I think they just had one not too long ago. So I know that's being used, and that's pretty old. That's ancient. I remember doing that back in the 80s, teletype. So, and other than that, Jim, I'll throw back to you. KT9G, K9MBM.
Yeah, K9MBM, KT9G. No worries. And then you're right. MSK 144. That's the one. That's the meteor scatter one. Sorry about that. So yeah. I think one of the other big ones that I've seen is Hell, which is hold on a second. What's it actually called? It's like a German word. Hellschreiber. It's yeah, a German guy invented it. It's another digital mode I've seen. My favorite, never use it. I used it once to play with. Is actually a mode where it plays tones in such a way that if you look at your waterfall, it spells the letters out in the waterfall. So you have to look at the waterfall, and you'll see the letters scrolling down through the waterfall. I just thought that was kind of funny. I gotta try and find out which one that was. I'll scroll through here and see if I can find it, what it was called. But then I also remember when I was at DEF CON, I think they were doing it on like 2.4 gig, just little microwatts inside of the Ham Village, doing like ASCII art, like pictures in the waterfall. It was pretty cool to see. So yeah, like I said, I'll scroll through here while I do another call out here. So let's see. That's the end of the first round. So let's go ahead and check. Is there anybody else out there interested in joining the Wednesday night Elmer Net A Alpha through Z Zulu? Come now, please. Okay, well, hearing none, let's go ahead and bring it up to the top of the list again. We don't have to, I mean, if anyone's got any other questions or anything else that they would like to discuss or bring up or whatnot, you're more than welcome to do that as well. We don't have to stick on this topic. So KA9JBD, Mike, go ahead. Floor is yours.
KT9G in the group KA9JBD. I guess nothing further here. I'm just listening to the comments on the digital modes. Only reason I brought it up was I was rummaging through old boxes and found my old signal link adapter and was looking at information about other modes. So I guess I'll have to do a little research into that. I will be listening. KA9JBD, back to net.
Okay, no worries. Did you want me to mark you as listen only for now, or do you want me to come back to you on the next round? Go ahead.
No, I'll stick around. KA9JBD.
Okay, yeah, no worries. All right, I can't find the mode that I was talking about in terms of the one that spells out the letters in the waterfall. I'll find it. All right. Well, back to you then, Jim. W9GTZ. Is there anything about digital modes that are you just not interested in it, or is it just haven't ever pulled the ripcord on giving it a try? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'd like to get into it a little bit. I've looked at it some. I just haven't done much with it. I guess from what I can see, what I prefer, I don't particularly care to just talk a couple letters or words and off of a keypad and go on. I'd rather be able to actually communicate with somebody like we're doing here. Maybe not necessarily rag shoe, but communicate with them. I guess I'm thinking what I'd like to do is learn to do is C4FM and or Echo Star. I think that's what I want, anyways. If there's, I'm not sure what D Star does. Whiskey 9 Golf Tango Zulu.
Yeah. No, that's fine. I mean, so they all, yeah, I think they all on the back end kind of work relatively similarly. They just different protocols, really, as far as how they digitize the info and then send it and turn it back into audio. As far as conversations, so FT4 and FT8, frequency shifting, those modes, there's a fork or basically a offshoot of FT8 called JS8. That one uses the exact same protocol, really, but it allows you to do full keyboard to keyboard, similar to like RIDI. So you can, chat back and forth with someone, have a little QSO, talk about whatever you want, and it's pretty good because it's weak signal, very weak signal. You can make some pretty good contacts on it. I mean, if you can make a contact with FT4 or FT8, you can make a contact with JS8. It's basically the same as far as sending and receiving. There are different modes as far as like slow, fast, and turbo and whatnot, and it just changes the bandwidth. And I believe that if you go into slow mode, it can you can make a QSO down to like minus 28 dB. And I think if you're in like turbo mode, it's like down to minus 14 or something like that. I don't remember exactly. I'd have to look it up. But so there's those options. Otherwise, yeah, D-Star Fusion Those other ones that are like built into the radios for voice kind of rag chewing, and then you can have those bridged over the internet, which I did did that with Mike while I was in Arizona. We tried to do JS8 from Arizona back to here, and we used D-Star on my Kenwood handheld via a D-Star repeater near me as backup, and that worked. So that was kind of cool. Speaking of which, KA9MBM, Mike, go ahead. Your turn. Floor's yours.
Okay. KT9G, K9MBM in the net. Yeah, I think what the other station there was basically you got two different kinds of digital modes. You have digital modes that are done with a keyboard and a computer, which is the FT8, FT4, JSA call, PSK31, all the different modes that are in WSJTX, full scan television, you name it. Those are like keyboard-to-keyboard type modes. The other station, Jim, I think was referring to voice over IP type of thing. It's where you're taking your voice and you're digitizing it. That would be the DMR, the All-Star, Echolink, C4FM, all those type of modes. And then under DMR there's multiple networks that will even take it further into it. There's Brandmeister, there's TGIF, there's a couple other ones out there too. And that's just done with DMR, but those I think is what the station's referring to, Jim. I think he's looking for the voice over IP type of thing, where it's digitized. So I don't think he's looking for the keyboard type of digital mode. So, but hey, we can talk about them all. If people have questions. Jim, I'll throw it back to you. I'm running out of time here on the repeater here. 37 seconds to go. KT9G, K9MBM.
Yeah, KA9MBM, KT9G. Yeah, I caught that. So they're those are different, in they're just kind of two different. I can't think of the word I'm trying to think of. Two different genres, I guess. I don't know, of digital modes. One where it's built into the radio, and it's a protocol built into the radio, and it's all voice. And the radio itself digitizes your voice and then sends over the digital signal, and the next radio receives the digital signal and decodes it and plays the audio as the voice again. Versus the modes that we're talking about tonight, like FT4, FT8, that requires a separate computer connected to your radio and a keyboard on the computer to type out the messages or to submit the picture and whatnot. So yes, those are different. But if you've got back to Jim saying that's what he was talking about, I think he said he's got a Yaesu, which means that his rig has Fusion. So Fusion would be that mode for him, or he could, get a DMR radio or do whatever he wants and do All-Star or whatever. So there's options there. All right, that brings us to about the half-hour mark here. Let's do another call-out. Anybody else out there, A Alpha through Z Zulu, wish to join the Wednesday night ElmerNet? Go ahead. Coming out, please.
Kilo Delta 9, Victor India Delta. This is Ward.
KD9 BID, Ward, got you on there. Anyone else? A Alpha through Z Zulu. All right, hearing none. I will go ahead and let me give it over to you, Ward. Let me know how much have you heard, or do you want us to kind of give you a little primer on what we've been chatting about? Go ahead, floor's yours.
Thank you. I have been listening since about 5 after. I went to check in at the last break, and I kind of missed it. I don't have a lot of traffic. I'm very interested in it. I'm currently talking on an FTM 200 on this, and then I also have an FTDX10, and my goal is to start playing with digital at some point. So this listening tonight interests me a lot.
Okay, yeah, sure. Well, glad I could pique your interest here, and we'll keep chatting about it. Yeah, sorry, I'm still trying to find that mode. I think I might have to just open FLDigi on my computer over here and just find it. Can't remember which one it was. It's on there. I know it's in there. I just can't remember what the name is. So, all right, let's swing up to the top of the list then here. KA9JBD. Yeah, go ahead. Floor is yours.
KT9G in the group, KA9JBD. Ooh, something just fell on the floor. Stand by. KA9JBD returning. Shouldn't have pulled the mic cable that much, I guess. Hi. Actually, this digital discussion is quite relevant. I'm a POTA hunter and tried one unsuccessful POTA activation years ago. But I look at the POTA site and I see, besides the usual sideband and CW stuff, I see a lot of FT4, FT8, but not much PSK31. So I guess I will have to investigate that a little bit more and perhaps get into those digital modes. KA9JBD back to net.
Yeah, KA9JBD, KT9G. Yeah, that'd be cool. I haven't. I do know if you go on to the site and look up the spots and whatnot, they'll tell you what mode they're on. I do know what's kind of fun, and I have tried doing it once. You can, when doing POTA, spot yourself using JS8 via an APRS command. So the way that it works is there is an APRS gateway for JS for spotting yourself for the POTA app, and if someone hears a JS8 call that has an APRS command, they will relay the command to the APRS system for the user. So you can use JS8 to send an APRS command to spot yourself. So it's kind of cool. Whoopsie! Now I'm dropping stuff. So that's a thing, and I can find a video for it, but I just know it's an option. JS8's fun. I always try and do some JS8 when I do POTA, because very few people do POTA with JS8. So I try and do it. I try and spot myself while I'm doing it to get people. Yeah, I've never gotten 10 contacts doing it because it's just hard sometimes, and there's not a ton of active users on it at any given time, but still pretty fun to try. So All right, W9GTZ. Jim, go ahead. Floor is yours.
I guess I've got nothing more to comment on, Jim. I'm going to just sit here and listen. I'll turn it back to net control.
Yeah, no worries. KA9MBM. Mike, go ahead. Floor is yours.
Okay. KE9MBM. Well, Jim, I don't know what others would really like to talk about. If people have questions about either the keyboard, digital modes where you're just typing on a keyboard, or if you actually want to do voice through the internet, and that basically is what the DMR, the All-Star, CF4FM, the Fusion from Yaesu, the D-Star, Echolink, all that is voice over IP. And what I mean by that is that when you talk on the radio, you either go to like a hotspot, which is in your house, and that's connected to the internet, and then that goes to a server out on the internet, and then it disperses from there, and then comes out on either a repeater or another hotspot, and then comes out on somebody's radio on the other end. But the internet is what is used to actually pass the information. And that is true for the DMR, the All-Star, C4FM, the Fusion, Echolink, all those different ones. And that is voice over IP. It's taking your voice, digitizing it, and then sending it over the internet. That's what that is. The other ones where it's just keyboard to keyboard, that actually is taking your, what you type on the keyboard is converting it into tones, a series of tones, and then that's being modulated either on HF or on VHF. Some of them can be done on FM, over FM. Mostly it's done on upper sideband on HF, and that would be like the FT4, FT8, the PSK31, RIDI, the whole, that type of stuff. Back over to you, Jim, net control, KT9G, K9MBM. Maybe that will give somebody, think of some more questions they might have.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks. Excuse me. All right. KD9VID. Ward, go ahead. Floor is yours.
Well, I'm listening tonight. I look at that FL Busy site. I'm guessing you use their software to communicate on some of these digital modes. I'm really lost as to where to even start. KT9G, back to you.
Yeah, KD9VID, KT9G. So basically what you need to get started is a computer and a USB cable to connect to your radio. The back of your radio, if it supports this, should have a USB port. Most of them do. You plug in your computer and you open up the most common one would be WSJTX. That is the software used for the very popular ones, FT4, FT8, and whatnot. And then inside, you have to go in. It'd probably be easiest to kind of find a YouTube video if you Googled or search something like WSJTX setup for, and then put in your radio. And it'll tell you how to go into settings. You select the radio that you're using, and it'll do cat control, which basically allows your computer to control your radio. and we'll do everything for you. So when you click send on the software, your radio will start magically transmitting, and then it'll do all the decoding for you as well. FL Digi is another piece of software that has a lot of kind of weird modes, just for funsies. A lot of stuff in it. But you're more than likely, if you're going to want to start making contacts and playing with digital modes right away, better off using something like WSJTX. If you want to do JS8, that is also requires its own software. However, that software is forked directly from WSJTX. So it looks, once you're comfortable using WSJTX, using JS8 call will be very easy because it's basically the same thing. The front end UI will look a little bit different, but like in the settings, it's all the same. It looks the same. So settings from WSJTX should port over fine to JS8 call. Does that help answer your question? Go ahead.
KT9G, KDVID, yes, it absolutely does. And I've looked at that WSJTX, and that was, I think, where I was going to start anyway. But thank you very much.
Okay, yeah, no worries. I mean, yeah, that's if you'll find someone on every band at any given time on FT8 or FT4 usually. So it's a good place to start to test out everything. You will probably have some headaches. Everyone does when it comes to drivers, audio drivers, things like that. Sometimes there's problems. If you're running Windows, you'll be less likely to have issues. If you're running Linux or Mac, like I do, you'll have more issues than not. But once you get it set up, it's done, and then it's not a problem anymore. But I think Windows is pretty easy to get working. The only thing that might be special is some radios require an interface, an intermediate interface. For example, I have a Zygu G90 that I use for POTA. That requires that can't do digital modes out of the box. I can't just plug a USB directly into that radio. I have to get an FL rig mobile little adapter thing, and that's a whole different story. So if you're in a situation like that, we can figure that out for you, but you're more than likely just going to plug right into your radio, so it shouldn't be a problem. Okay, so we are at 40 after. Let's go ahead and check to see, is there anybody else out there lingering who would like to join the Wednesday Night Elmernet? Go ahead, come now, please.
Kilo Delta 9, Julia Tango, India.
KD9 JTI, Greg, hey, welcome to the call, or welcome to the net. Let me do another call out here, hold on. Anybody else? A Alpha through Z Zulu, go ahead. All right, hearing none. Let me pick you up, Greg. Go ahead. Let me know how much you've been listening. If you want us to tell you where we're at or what we're talking about, go ahead.
Well, I have no idea what you guys are talking about. I just turned the radio on. In fact, I'm talking off the HT. I was just wondering if everybody was discussing what they've been doing the last 2 Wednesdays. KD9JTI.
Oh, yeah, KD9JTI, Kilo Tango 9 Golf. We were chatting about digital modes, FT8, FT4, JS8, MSK 144, PSK 31, just that stuff. So that's what we've been kind of chatting about. So with that, we'll swing up to the top here. KA9JBD. Well, hold on. Actually, go back to Greg here real quick. I may have cut you off. Was there anything else you wanted to add, or do you want me to go to the top of the list? KD9JTI, go ahead.
No, you can
go ahead, K9JBD. Go ahead.
Okay, sounds good. All right, KA9JBD. Michael, go ahead. Floor is yours.
KT9G in the group KA9JBD. Wow. This has been one interesting Elmer's net. Great job, Jim. Yeah, nothing further to add. I guess based on what I just looked online at the POTA page, looks like everyone doing digital is doing FT8, so I guess I'll have to get past my old curmudgeon, old school SSB CW guy ham operator thing and look into that to further my my contacts in POTA with FT8. Back to net, KA9JBD.
Yeah, KA9JBD, KT9G. Yeah, you're right. I'm looking at the POTA app website right now, and they're all FT8. That being said, if I'm ever out there, you'll see a JS8 pop up. I try and do it. Now, I've told myself that I was going to continue doing the POTA outings through the winter, and that just didn't work out. It's been really busy for me with the holidays, so I just didn't have a chance, and everyone else seems kind of busy, and it's been kind of a miserably cold on and off and whatever. So we'll pick it back up in the spring. But yeah, if you want to do get more contacts on POTA, you're more than likely going to find them all on FT8. Kind of seems to be the way that everyone's gone. Probably just because of its speed and efficiency and ease of use, really, just how fast those contacts can be made. All right, W9GTZ. Jim, go ahead. Floor is yours.
W9GTZ. I guess the only question I've got is, out of the several different voice modes, what one would I be best to zero in on? What is the most success in contacts and works the best? Whiskey 9 Golf Tango Zulu.
Yeah, Whiskey 9 Golf Tango Zulu, Kilo Tango 9 Golf. So really it boils down to what modes are you capable of doing. And like I said, you've got a Yaesu. I think you said you've got a 991 Alpha, which means that your rig does fusion, which is Yaesu's digital mode. It would be similar to how ICOM has D-Star. Now, Kenwood does D-Star too. I don't know. Other people may be able to answer this, or I can look it up real quick. If there's any other hardware out there that does fusion that isn't Yaesu, I don't know. I'm sure there might be. And then the other ones that are more untethered, really, to brand names, I guess. The one being All-Star. And then there's DMR. DMR is another digital mode, and that one would be, I think, like all the Anytones do that. So like the Anytones do DMR. You can get other DMR radios. And then the other thing is you can get a hotspot, and you can set up your hotspot to do any of those modes, and then use a radio to connect to your hotspot and do those same modes through that. I still have yet to build a hotspot. I haven't done that. So I don't know all the answers to that, but I know, I know others on here have, so we can let people talk about those if anyone wants to chat about that. So, all right. Then KA9MBM, Mike, that's down to you. Go ahead. Floor is yours.
Okay. K9MBM returning here on the net. Yeah, I actually built, I have two hotspots. I have one that I use for D-Star. I have another one I use for DMR, and the one that's used for DMR, I use that. It does the different DMR networks. What I mean by that is Brandmeister, TGIF. It also can convert the DMR signal to fusion. The only one it cannot do is D-Star. D-Star is it's very complicated, and most hotspots cannot convert D-Star to DMR or DMR to D-Star or to fusion or one of those other voice over IP modes. So that's where you would use voice over IP, is with a hotspot, or if you go through a local repeater that has has D-Star or DMR or fusion. There are a few in the Milwaukee area here that are available for people to connect to and just use it either as a regular repeater, or you can actually open up a connection to the internet. And there are thousands of talk groups out on each one of these different modes. Echolink isn't used very much anymore. That was one of the earlier ones. I guess All-Star is still used, and they actually use that to link some of the repeaters. I know that's one mode that's used for that. Jim, with that, I'm going to throw it back to you, and I think I'm going to say 73's here, unless others actually have specific questions. KT9G, K9MBM.
Okay, yeah, no worries. Yeah, and thanks for that info. I marked you as checked out for now. I think I might wrap up at the next round anyway. But there was one other thing that I wanted to call out here for everybody listening, is that not only are digital modes fun and all that cool stuff, one of the things that I really love about it is it can really give you a good idea of propagation reporting. And a really good mode for that is called Whisper, WSPR. And WSJTX has Whisper as one of the modes that you can use. And it is an extremely weak signal propagation reporting signal. And there is a website called WhisperNet, WSPRNET.org, that you can see everyone sending and receiving Whisper beacons on different bands. So that's a fun one. If you haven't had a chance to play with digital modes, the first one, if you want to just play with it, you can do Whisper and then just go to the whisper.net or whispernet.org and take a look. You'll see your call sign pop up, and you can see everyone that hears you and all that kind of fun stuff. Then the other thing is, what's it called? PSKreporter.info. So PSKreporter.info. That one is kind of the same thing as whispernet.org's map. However, it will track lots of different modes. You can track, there's probably like 100 modes on here. FT4, FT8, JS8, JT65, MSK 144, all of them. They're all here. So you can send and receive these. And one of the things to keep in mind is when you set up your WSJTX, if you have an internet connection in your settings, you can tell it that you would like to upload what you are hearing to PSK Reporter. So you can have your rig or your computer report to this system as well, so you can let everybody else know who you're hearing. So that's a really cool, fun thing. So if you want to go check out those websites, you can also do that. All right, KD9VID, go ahead. Floor is yours.
You know, I want to say thanks. I think I've taken more notes tonight on this Elmer net than I have on any net I've been on HF or 2-meter in a long, long, long time. So thanks for holding that tonight. I don't have a lot more to add, and we'll visit with everybody again soon. I think I'm going to call this my 73 round as well. 73s, everyone. KD9VID, back to KT9G.
WQJ.
Yeah, I think I heard you jump in there, Karen. Go ahead. Go ahead with a comment.
Yeah, I've listened to your net as well, and I have to tell you, I am so impressed. This was a fabulous net, and I have to agree with your last caller. It really was an excellent net, and I'm very, very impressed, as well as I'm sure anybody else listening was. So, great job. You guys are way over my head, but I did understand some of it. KC9WQJ, back to net control.
KC9WQJ, Kilo Tango 9 Golf. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting topic, and we've kind of held off on having it in a while. Now, I feel bad that Neil, who was the one that originally asked for us to have this discussion, wasn't even here tonight, so he missed it. Lucky for him, I record all of my nets, so I will get this uploaded once we get the website in a state where we can upload these nets. The recording of this net will be on the website for people to listen to after the fact, so we are recording. All right, let me come down here and pick up Greg here. KD9JTI, Greg, go ahead. Floor is yours.
KD9JTI.
Yeah, KD9JTI, Greg, you're with us? Go ahead. Floor is yours.
KD9JTI. No, the thing is I have hit the wrong button and going to a different channel. Oh well, what can I say? Working this HT is not that easy for me. Well, I was just wondering how I'm going to give my 73s rounds, like, I thought people would be talking about what they were doing for the last couple of Wednesdays. Oh well. KD9GTI 7 seats, everybody. We'll catch you later. Bye.
All right. Yeah, KD9JTI, Kilo Tango 9 Golf. Net control. 73s to you. And yeah, it's just been quiet. We did have a net last week, but the 2 weeks prior to that, we didn't have nets, and, everyone was busy with the holidays. So I know I didn't do much radio stuff. So all right. So we've got 4 minutes left here. Let me do a little quick call out. Is there anybody else out there who would like to check in for the last 73 round here of the Wednesday night Elmer net? Go ahead. Come now, please. Okay, well then we'll bring it up to the top of the list and go through here. K9JBD, Michael, go ahead. Floor is yours, 73 round.
KT9G in the net, K9JBD. Thanks again, James, for a wonderful net. Nothing to add other than I have to seriously look at FT8 in regard to my quota hunter thing. So thanks to you and all the other comments from people too numerous to mention. I appreciate all of their input, and I would be remiss if this old curmudgeon forgot to wish everyone a Happy New Year. Some of you I haven't heard, so Happy New Year to all. hopefully 2025 will be better for all of us. And that's it. 73's all. K9JBD, back to net.
Yeah, sounds good. K9JBD, Kilo Tango 9 Golf, net control. Yeah, and then when it comes to POTA on FT8, just heads up, there's some nuances with how people send CQ, and you will, if someone's doing POTA, you'll see them say POTA. So they're easy to hunt on FT8. If you're trying to just hunt for POTA people, it'll say CQ POTA and then a call sign in grid square. So they're easy to spot. All right. W9GTZ, Jim, go ahead. Floor is yours. 73 round.
And Whiskey 9 Golf Tango Zulu. I think I have nothing else to add, so I'm just going to say thanks for a good job on the net, Jim. I appreciate it. It was educational and interesting. Whiskey 9 Golf Tango Zulu, back to net control. 7-3s.
All right. W9GTZ, Kilo Tango 9 Golf. 73s to you as well. All right. That checks everybody out there. Let's go ahead and see. Is there anybody else out there with any final business or late check-ins? Go ahead. Come now, please.
This is KE9CAP. Just checking in to say hi. I'm just listening. Nothing to add.
Yeah, sure. Can you give me your call sign again? I didn't write it down quick enough. Go ahead.
KE9CAP, Kilo Echo Niner, Charlie Alpha Papa.
All right, perfect. I got you on the list. Okay, anyone else with any final business or late check-ins? Go ahead. Come now, please.
K9 KOX, James from St. Cloud, no traffic.
All right. Wait, K9, what was the call sign? K9KLX? Did I get that right? Go ahead.
Kilo 9, Kilo Oscar X-ray.
Ah, there we go. I got you on there now. Okay, thanks for coming in and getting your name on the list. Anyone else? Late check-ins or final business? Go ahead.
Is it St. Cloud, Minnesota?
No, looks like it's Fond du Lac. Fond du Lac County. Go ahead.
That's correct. K9 KOX, that's St. Cloud. It's east of Fond du Lac, between Plymouth and Fond du Lac.
Thanks, WTJ clear.
We always get excited when the long hops show up randomly. Propagation can swing around every once in a while. All right, so with that, I'm going to go ahead and secure this net at 8:01 p.m. And as always, thank you all for participating. And a reminder that this net, along with most other nets here on the 9-1 repeater, welcome new operators to experience net control operations by trying a net or two. If you wish to try acting as net control operator, please contact our club president, Karen, KC9WQJ, to participate. All of the net scripts are on the club website for you to review. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and return the repeater to normal amateur use. Again, my name is Jim, Kilo Tango 9 Golf. 73s, everybody, and have a great night.